Welcome to Legend classes. Today we are going to see one of the important topic and which is very interesting from obs and gynecology, okay, which is of an abdominal examination at pregnancy. Okay, today's topic is abdominal examination in antenatal examination. So when we goes for antenatal examination, we will follow 4 steps. Okay, the mainly antenatal examination will be following of. Okay, first is of inspection, palpation and auscultation. Okay, this is the 3 methods which we will use in abdominal examination in antenatal mothers. Okay, so when we goes for antenatal examination, first we have to take a consent from the mother. Okay, for every procedure take the consent from mother or from the patient. Okay, a tray which contains an antenatal equipment, okay, or a tray needed for antenatal examination is of stethoscope, okay, fetostethoscope, which is called as peanut stethoscope even, peanut stethoscope, and a tray contains of antenatal tray or antenatal examination is of stethoscope, fetostethoscope, sphygmomanometer, okay, inch tape, kidney tray, paper bag, bowl with cotton balls, okay, gauze piece and antiseptic solution which is of betadine, okay, and next is of sterile gloves, lidocaine jelly. Okay, these and all the things should be or the items present in tray for antenatal examination. Okay, you got it. So next we will see with systematic examination of physical examination. So when we goes for physical examination or when you are going to do an abdominal examination on the mother, first take a case, okay, go and talk to the mother or the client, take the consent primarily. So first thing we have to do for consent of mother, okay. Next explain the procedure and say the benefits or the determinants what you are going to be do by this abdominal examination. You understand? Okay, and ask the mother to void, which is very foremost thing which is very important, voiding. Okay, ask the mother to empty her bladder, okay, because throughout the examination the mother will not get up from the bed, right? So for that one we have to take the consent from mother, okay, and explain the procedure what you are going to do on the mother, because they will have so many anxiety, questions and stress. So to avoid all the things, give a complete information regarding your procedure what you are going to perform on the mother. And next one is ask the mother to empty her bladder. So if the bladder is full, the mother will not able to cooperate for you a procedure, and even she cannot have a comfort while she is giving a time to go for abdominal examination, right? So these and all are preliminary things where you have to do at before you are performing the abdominal examination on the mother, okay. And the thing after completing all the protocol, all the preliminary procedures completed, so after avoiding or empty the bladder of the mother, ask the mother to lay down on the bed with a comfortable position, okay. The position which we will use for abdominal examination is of, what the position we will use? Yes, okay, supine. So we will use the supine position for mother, position of the mother, supine. Supine position will be used for abdominal examination, okay, okay, and these and all the things. So ask the mother to lay down very comfortably. If she wants, put a pillow under the neck where she can feel more comfort even. Ask her hands to lay down as per her, okay. If she can keep her hands towards the head or otherwise towards the lateral side of her body, that will be a comfortable position for the mother. So now we will go for systemic examination from head to toe, which is of an antenatal examination on mother, which will be of abdominal examination. Before going into abdominal examination, we have to know one of the important thing. Okay, the abdominal examination has been carried out by a gynecologist, okay, whose name is of Christian Gehold Leopold. She is of the gynecologist Christian Gehold Leopold. Okay, in 1909 she has been carried out this examination. She is one of the gynecologists. After her, she has performed the abdominal examination itself. Then they named it as a Leopold-Manius. Okay, the procedure or the grips or what we are going to perform the steps in abdominal examination is called as Leopold-Manius. Okay, you can see it off. What is called as Leopold-Manius. So this all the grips or the what the performance is going to be bought or to do when we are going to do of abdominal examination is only based on Leopold-Manius. You understand, right? You are able to follow me? Okay, then we will see the system wise. So when you want to start the abdominal examination or antenatal examination, you will go from head to toe. So when you goes for the face, okay, you have to observe the pigmentation on the face. What you will see, the pigmentation. What is pigmentation? Yes, okay. So the pigmentation in the sense dark appearance. So especially for the pregnant women, you will see for the pigmentation around the eyes. Okay, you can see the pigmentation around the eyes, which is like in a butterfly in shape. So that we can call it even as pigmentation of chlasma or face of chlasma. That is of an indication. So then we will go with next systematic wise examination is of dark pigmentation. Dark pigmentation around the neck. So when you want to go for that, you can feel that and you can see the dark pigmentation around the neck, which is of an indication that mother is carrying the fetus, where there will be an imbalance in hormonal changes, which is of oxytocin and progesterone, right? You understand? So that due to of oxytocin and progesterone, there will be of presence of dark pigmentation in face around the eyes, okay, and around the mouth, which is of appearance like beard and mustache, and then you can have a dark pigmentation around the neck of the mother. These and all the some of the indications or the difference you can feel from a pregnant woman to non-pregnant woman. Okay, these and all the changes. And when you goes for breast, okay, after face and neck you will go for breast changes. So when you goes for breast changes, we all know, right? So when you goes for breast changes at the time of pregnancy, the mammary glands will help in the secretion of milk in the mother. Okay, so due to the secretion of the lobules which are present in the mammary glands, okay, due to that there will be of enlargement in breast, okay, enlargement and tenderness. What do you mean by tenderness? Pain will be present at breast at the time of pregnancy. And next one, you can see the Montgomery signs. Okay, Montgomery signs. Okay, what do you mean by Montgomery signs? Which is of called as an where if you go for a nipple examination, okay, this Montgomery signs can be seen on the nipple. You can find small bumps, okay, small protruded things, you can fill it off here, right? So then that is called as Montgomery signs, where you can see the changes in nipple of the breast. And next you can go with the changes of areola. Okay, the areola around the nipple can be seen normally when you goes with pregnant. You can see the secondary areola, okay, which is of secondary areola. So there will be of presence of secondary areola can be seen in the breast examination, okay, at antenatal examination. These and all the changes usually we come across the breast changes, right? Do you understand? Okay, then next after the completion of breast we will go with abdomen. Okay, so when we goes with abdomen, before going to abdomen we have to know what and all the Leopold's, Manius, and when you goes for abdominal examination. So now we will go with So when we goes with abdominal examination, the foremost thing we will go with checking of the abdominal girth. Okay, what do you mean by abdominal girth? So the tray what we have arranged for antenatal, sphygmomanometer, right, stethoscope, fetoscope, inch tape, okay, kidney with paper bag, cotton balls, betadine, right, sterile gloves, xylocaine jelly. These are the tray which contains for antenatal examination. So from the tray what we have arranged for antenatal examination, we have to take the inch tape. Okay, take an inch tape and go for the measurement of the girth of the abdomen. Okay, so when you goes with the girth of the abdomen, take the center point. Okay, think this is an abdomen, this is the umbilicus where you can see, right. So umbilicus is the center point of the abdomen which divides the abdomen of equally with lower abdomen and upper abdomen. So when you goes with abdomen, take an inch tape. Okay, put the starting point at the umbilicus and make the rotation. So at the center of the, you should keep the umbilicus as a center of the point for measuring of abdominal girth. So you can list out or list down the what is the abdominal girth of the mother. Okay, after abdominal girth measurement has been taken, next go for fundal height. Next the thing what you have to do in the sense, you have to go and check the measurement of fundal height. So what you do in the fundal height in the sense, you have to take the inch tape again, you have to expose the part of the abdomen which is necessary only for examine purpose. So expose the abdomen from symphysis pubis to stiffy sternum. Okay, understand? Xiphoid process to symphysis pubis. So you have to expose the abdomen of the mother from symphysis of pubis to xiphoid process or stiffy sternum. So take the measurement from symphysis pubis to fundus. So how you will know the fundus or the fundus height in the sense, you have to keep your left hand on the abdomen of mother at the site of xiphoid process or stiffy sternum. Okay, you can see this is of the mother's diaphragm. Okay, this is the mother's diaphragm where you can see. So the diaphragm can be calculated or you can see it is of a fundus. So at the when you goes for the palpation, put your left hand or non-dominant hand on the mother's abdomen. Okay, give some pressure and make it down. So okay, with pressure put your hand or make your hand to go little bit deeper into the mother's abdomen. Then push towards the forward with your hand of giving some little gentle pressure. So that if your hand is able to move little bit forward, you can do it off. If not, if your hand is not moving forward with your gentle pressure, you should not allow your hand to take more pressure. So put an imaginary line over the diaphragm area. Okay, so that is the ending point where you have to measure the fundus height. Okay, do you understand? From there to symphysis pubis area you have to measure with the inch tape, so that you can know the what is the gestation weeks even and what is the fundus height of the mothers. Okay, do you understand? The next method is of you have to put or take the inch tape. Okay, first take the inch tape, take the zero reading in your dominant hand and put your hand on symphysis pubis, okay, the tape, and try to measure the fundal height from symphysis pubis to umbilicus. So it will be approximately between 22 to 24. Okay, from symphysis pubis to umbilicus the fundus height will be 22 to 24 centimeters. This will be of usually normal fundal height from symphysis pubis to umbilicus. Then from umbilicus to xiphoid process or stiffy sternum, you have to use your finger method. Okay, so after umbilicus put your right hand on the abdomen. Okay, then start of counting which is dorsumly you have to keep your hand and then calculate, then you have to put your non-dorsum. So with a finger method, think that this is the abdomen, okay, umbilicus. So from symphysis pubis to umbilicus you have calculated, right? So after calculation from here you have to use the finger method, okay. Put your hand, then go alternately. Then after you have to use your non-dominant hand on the abdomen. This is the method where you will use for checking of fundal height. And next thing we will observe over there is of linea nigra, okay, which is a very important in inspection, okay, which is of linea nigra. Linea nigra in the sense which is of a straight line, linea nigra, okay, which is of a straight line which will be appeared with a little bit dark pigmentation from umbilicus to symphysis pubis. For every mother at the time of pregnancy you can see this pigmented straight line. Even for some of the mothers above the umbilicals also linea nigra can be seen, okay. And next inspection when you goes for, you can see some of the striking lines at lower abdomen of the mother, that will be called as stria gravidarum, okay, stria gravidarum. These are the points where we have to kept in mind at the time of doing abdominal examination, you understand, okay. So this is of a linea nigra which is present like in a straight line from umbilicus to symphysis pubis. And next is of stria gravidarum, which are the lines of little particles which can be seen at lower segment of your abdomen, okay. So this is of stria gravidarum and linea nigra, do you understand? Then we will go with, after completion of inspection we will go with palpation, okay. Inspection completed and next we are going with palpation. In palpation on the abdomen or the abdomen palpation or on the abdominal examination, we have 4 grips to perform on the mother, which is called as lipoid manual. So the first grip is of fundal grip, okay, fundal grip, and second one is called as umbilical grip, and third one is called as pallix grip or pelvic first grip, and fourth grip is of pelvic second grip, okay. These and all the grips which are present commonly in palpation of abdominal examination. So we will go with first is of fundal grip, right. So the first grip is called as fundal grip. So when you want to go for fundal grip, you have to face towards the mother's face side, okay. You have to face, think that mother is head is of this side, okay. So you have to face towards the mother head side, and you should be stand towards the right side of the mother, face towards the mother face side, expose the abdomen of the mother only, unnecessary parts should not be exposed, provide privacy which is very necessary, okay. Then face towards the mother side, okay, stand towards the right side even. So then put your hands, go for hand washing, okay. After thorough hand wash, make your hands to be warm, because if your hands are very wet or calm, the baby starts the rotator, okay. The baby awakes and the baby starts to move in the abdomen of mother, where your findings cannot make easily, okay. So to avoid the disturbance in the fetal movements, okay, you have to go for thorough hand wash, dry your hands, make your hands warm, okay. After getting your hands warm only, ask the mother, can I start the procedure, okay. So talk to the mother, in that way you have to perform your abdominal examination. So first fundal grip, so you can see over here first fundal grip, okay. You will put your hands on the fundus, think the mother is of, okay, abdomen, this is the fundus. So you will put your hands on fundus of the mother with your both hands, okay. So then you will palpate. You will palpate, okay. This where you can see it off. You will do the palpation over here. So think you will palpate. So in this palpating manner, you have to palpate the fundus of the mother. Why we will palpate? What is the use or what is the advantage? Why we are performing the fundal grip in the sense or fundal palpation in the sense to know the part which is present at fundus, okay, to know the lie or to know the presentation or to know the attitude of the fetus in the mother's womb, okay. That's the reason why we are doing the fundal palpation. So while you are doing a fundal palpation, you have to palpate with gently, okay, then search for the presenting part or what the part is present at fundus of the uterus of mother. So when you palpating, if you feel it is of hard in nature, okay, if it is of hard, okay, round in shape, that indicates the cephalic of the fetus or head of the baby. And when you are palpating, it is of very smooth and soft, okay, and symmetrical in nature, it indicates the buttocks or breech of the fetus, okay. If you feel it is of an irregular bony prominences, okay, irregularity with small bony prominences, it indicates that are the extremities of the fetus has been present at fundus of the uterus, okay. That is of regarding first manure, okay. The first manure is called as fundal grip or fundal palpation, right? You understand? Yes, okay. Then we will see with second manure or second grip, okay, which is of umbilical grip. So we can say it is of umbilical grip and lateral grip, okay. We can say it is even lateral grip or lateral palpation. So after completing fundus palpation, you have to come same as, okay, fundus has been completed, then in a rotatory motion come to lateral sides of the mother. So this is the lateral palpation where you will do, okay. Then give the pressure when you comes into the sides of the mother, okay, lateral side or umbilical grip. Put your hand in the comfortable position, okay. Give pressure from right side to left side. So think I am giving pressure, okay, pressure to left side, so that while giving pressure you can feel the deeper parts of the consistence which is present in right side of the mother abdomen. So by palpating you can know what is the presenting part over there, and same as vice versa, give the pressure from left side to the right side of the abdomen. Then at the time while you are giving pressure, go on a gentle palpation to know the presenting part. Why we will do this lateral palpation or umbilical grip or umbilical palpation in the sense to identify the back side of the baby or to identify the back side of the fetus, which side is the baby is, okay, located or which side the baby is present, to know the or to identify the back side of the baby or which is the presentation. Normally, okay, the lines will be, when you goes for lies, longitudinal lie will be present, transverse lie will be present, oblique lie will be present. Usually the most commonest lie is of longitudinal, okay. The longitudinal lie is common for all the mothers. Rarely for 15 to 20% it is of oblique, okay, and 10 to 15 is of transverse. Usually all will be of only longitudinal lie, okay. For making the lie we will do this lateral palpation, okay, and we have came to a consideration that which side the baby back is presented, okay. You understand the second grip, which is very important, okay, the umbilical grip and lateral grip, okay, to identify the back side of the baby or to know the lie of the fetus in the mother's womb, okay. Then we will go with third grip, which is of pelvic first grip and which can be called even as Pallix grip, okay. The third Lepoid's manure is of Pallix grip and pelvic first grip. In Pallix or pelvic second first grip we will go with which is of third manure, you can see. So with the help of your index, okay, with the help of your thumb, middle finger, okay, you will grasp the lower abdomen of the mother with an gentle pressure. Okay, you will catch. Okay, like in a cup method you have to use. Think you can see here. So with the thumb and middle finger you will grasp the lower abdomen of the mother. So while you are grasping only, you can know that what is the presenting part over the lower abdomen or lower segment of the uterus. So if you feel it is of hard and round in shape, it indicates the cephalic presentation, okay, or the cephalic presenting part. And if it is of smooth and symmetrical, okay, which is very soft, that indicates the breech is presenting part. Or if it is of irregular and bony prominences, it indicates the extremities of footling presentation is present. Why we will do this third maneuver? In the sense Phalanx grip or pelvic first grip, in the sense to know the presenting part for delivery or for the labor. So what is the presenting part? To know that, based on the presenting part, they can consider whether the normal labor can be occurred or whether they have to go for LSCS, right? So then after third grip, all first grip, second grip and third grip, we will face towards the woman or the mother's face side. And when it comes to the pelvic second grip, which is a fourth maneuver, okay, we have to face towards the mother's feet side. Okay, we have to change the position, be at right side to the mother only, but still for first three grips you will be facing towards the mother face side. And when you comes with the fourth maneuver, okay, which is of pelvic second grip, you will face towards the feet side of the mother. So when you are facing towards the feet side of the mother, you can see, okay, put all your two hands togetherly and grasp the lower abdomen. Okay, you can see in this picture over here, fourth maneuver, which is of pelvic second grip. Okay, with your both hands grasp the lower abdomen or lower segment of the mother, so that you can see. Why you can see? While you are grasping of the lower abdomen, give some gentle pressure. Okay, make it your hands to push forward of the abdomen and make go downwards. So when you are going down, if your hands are going down, it says that engagement has been not done of the presenting part. If your hands are going deeperly into the cavity or the brim of the pelvis, okay, if your hand is getting space to make into move inside of the mother's cavity, in the sense it says that the presenting part has been not engaged. So if it is engaged, the presenting part, you doesn't feel the space is present. If your hands are not getting in, okay, if it is, that is not engaged. If your hands are going inside into the uterus or pelvic cavity, that says that the presenting part engagement has been taken. So this is of regarding all the maneuvers. You understand, right? So which is leopard maneuvers? In that we will have four maneuvers. First maneuver is called as fundal grip or fundal palpation, and second one is called as umbilicus or lateral grip, okay, or lateral palpation, and third maneuver is called as Phalanx grip or pelvic first grip, and fourth maneuver is called as pelvic second grip. Okay, these all are regarding the abdominal examination of lipoid maneuvers, which is of four maneuvers present for abdominal examination. After completing of this all, you have to go for the pervaginal examination. Okay.